Thank you for your interest in StratiSystem, the infrastructure operating system for storage, compute, virtualization, AI, and HPC architectures. In this video, I will demonstrate how to install a Windows Server virtual machine. The first step, if not already completed, is to ensure hypervisor services are enabled in the cluster. This is performed from the provisioning engine. From the main menu, select option 16. Once successful validation has been completed, type Y and press Enter to proceed. After hypervisor activation, now proceed to the web-based management interface located at https:// any IP address in the cluster on port 3199. After login, proceed to the Virtual Machines tab on the left navigation bar. Here, we will follow a slightly different procedure than what we performed with the installation of a Linux VM in a different video to demonstrate another approach to the VM creation process. Click on the Storage Pools link at the top of the pane. You will see all the currently registered storage pools that the hypervisor is aware of listed in the table below. Open the default storage pool. Then click on the Storage Volumes tab, and then click the Create Volume button on the far right of that row. Now you will be presented with a new storage volume screen. This will be the primary VM operating system disk image for the VM. Enter a name that makes the disk image easily identifiable. Use the extension of QCOW2 to identify the file as a VM disk image. Provide a size appropriate for the Windows VM. In this scenario, I will use 50 GB. This can be easily extended later if necessary. Click the Create button to create the disk image. Now click on the virtual machine link at the top of the pane, and then click on the Create VM button located on the far right of the pane. Now, the new VM wizard appears. Give the VM a friendly name. Then select Local Install Media from the Installation Type drop-down box. In the Installation Source field, navigate to the location where the Windows Server ISO file is located. In this scenario, is stored on the cluster under the ISOs directory. Ensure the operating system type is set to Microsoft Windows Server 2025. In the Storage drop-down, select the default storage pool. Then in the Volume field, select the QCOW2 disk image we created earlier from the storage pool screen. And finally, set the memory for the VM to 8 GB, and then click the Create and Edit button to commit the changes. You will now see the VM settings screen for the VM that was just created. Change the firmware mode from BIOS to UEFI. Next, I will change the virtual disk bus mode from the default of SATA to the high-performance mode of VirtIO. Next, I will add a new disk to the VM configuration which uses the VirtIO image located in the ISOs directory on the cluster. This ISO contains the drivers we'll need during the Windows installation phase. Ensure that the VirtIO disk image bus mode is set to SATA, or Windows will not detect it. Next, change the network interface model from E1000E to the high-performance model of VirtIO. Next, ensure that all the virtual disk devices are mounted to the VM at startup by clicking on the Edit button located in the Boot Order field. Make sure the Windows installer and VirtIO images are checked. And finally, I'll start the VM by clicking on the Run button located at the top of the pane. When the Windows installation wizard appears, I will proceed using all the wizard defaults. I will use the Windows Server 2025 Desktop Experience option. On the installation location screen, you will notice that no disks appear in the list. This is because Windows does not have a native VirtIO driver. Click on the Load Driver button along the top of the table. Then click the Browse button to open the selection pane. Expand the drive letter with the VirtIO Win label. Scroll down to the VIO Store parent directory and expand the 2K25 subdirectory. Inside you will see another subdirectory named AMD64. Select this directory and click on OK. You will now see the Red Hat VirtIO SCSI controller driver appear. Select this from the table and click on Install. This will install the necessary driver in order for the virtual disk to appear. Select Disk 0 from the table and click Next. When ready, click on Install to begin the Windows Server installation. This will take a few minutes to complete and will automatically reboot as necessary throughout the process. When prompted for the product key, simply elect to do this later. Then enter the administrator password for the system. When the login screen appears, log in using the administrator password you just provided in the previous step. In a moment, you will see the Windows desktop appear. Next, I will install the VirtIO Guest Tools package. Open the Windows Explorer and proceed to the drive letter with the VirtIOWin label. Open the device and double-click on the file named VirtIOWin GTX86. When the installer appears, accept all the defaults and click on the Install button. It will take a few moments to complete the driver installation process. After the installation window disappears, click on the file labeled VirtIOWin Guest Tools. Accept the defaults and click on the Install button to proceed. This will install all the necessary guest tools to allow the hypervisor host and the VM guest to properly communicate. After the installation completes, reboot the VM. The Windows Server VM is now ready for production use. Alternatively, following the install of all required software packages and updates, you can sysprep the image so that it can be deployed as a template. This saves a great deal of time when deploying many Windows virtual machines. This concludes the demonstration of how to deploy a Windows Server virtual machine within StratiSystem. For more information related to SteelDome technologies, please visit our website at steeldome.com. Additionally, visit our YouTube page for more StratiSystem walkthroughs and advanced deployment use case videos.